Remember in the time before COVID we could go on holidays? That was a nice time.
Don't take it as personal, okay? If it makes you feel any better, please know that I'm doing this for a good cause.
When I saw the trailer for this film, it looked insanely terrifying. I was too young to see it in the cinema, but the second it came out on DVD, I was down the shops, then back home to launch it straight into my TV.
Oh, little Sean, how I wish I could save you from the disappointment of so many films. Anyway, let's talk about how crap this film is.
Oh, this is already boring the shit out of me.
In Turistas, we follow a group of young tourists who are travelling through Brazil when they unwittingly get drugged and enter the dark world of human organ harvesting. An underground operation that we actually don't see too much of in the horror world. The director John Stockwell actually decided to make the film after coming back from a trip to Peru. He said he'd been robbed at gunpoint and shot at by a group of teenagers, and when reporting it to the police, they said if he paid them $300, they'd allow him to kill the kids as revenge. Jesus!
Did you know that?
Hey, no, senorita, would have been fine, alright? Or even no, you stupid bloody gringo! Leave the girl alone, alright?
Like Hostel, it's the sort of film that attracts negative attention due to it portraying a country, in this case Brazil, as dangerous and crime-riddled. But it taps into the fear people have of travelling to other places they aren't familiar. Like it or not, this is a situation that could happen regardless of where it's set.
Unfortunately, it all amounts to a movie with one really well-made scene that's milked for all it's worth.
The movie was actually fully shot on location in Brazil and looks really pretty, but that's about the most praise I can give it. The actual organ harvesting section of the movie is pretty small, yet it dominated the trailers, and the film even opens with the scene, even though we'll be watching it again later.
Oh God, I wanna go home!
The film also has some decent practical effects to heighten the horror of the big highlight of the organ harvest, but the rest of the film contains some decidedly 2006 CGI. It looks awful, and it'll probably give you a chuckle at how dated it can seem.
Let's see it again in super slow motion.
The characters are so generic despite being played by a well-known cast. I really struggle how to describe them.
Melissa George is probably the only one that sticks out in your mind because she has the most memorable dialogue and at least some character. And yeah, I say memorable with huge quotation marks either side of it. Everyone else is kind of just remembered by how they die more than anything. I can't even label them the classic bimbo, jock and nerd titles, they are that empty inside as characters. And yeah, that operating scene in the movie that is plastered all over the marketing is horrifying. Having your organs forcibly removed from your body to be used on someone else deemed more worthy than you while you slowly die, it's just a thought that chills me to the bone. The villainous surgeon's sick logic just adds a whole other creepy level to how disturbed the actions being committed are.
And so I am thinking, maybe there's something I can do to even the scales, just a little. To help you find a way to give back.
However, other than this scene, everything else is just so unremarkable. It takes a full hour before we get anywhere near the actual meat of the narrative, and until then, everything else is just dull build-up.
Come on.
Then after it, there's a creative, if completely tensionless chase scene to the credits. Honestly, it's really hard to review the movie with anything other than a shrug, it's just so blandly forgettable.
In the end, Turistas is a film with an idea that's done justice in one scene, and then a whole lot of filler either side of it. What a shame.
Spring, 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 spring,